What was problematic for them is that I had businesses. I had a car leasing company and 2 car lots, and I had two clinics, women's. That's what they were, abortion clinics at the time. But I had two. So I was generating a lot of legitimate income. So that became the crux of the argument, as to whether or not you felt like I could live like that, and whether or not you deem my income that I did generate legitimately to be enough to make me live the lifestyle that they said that I lived.
Wow. Yeah, you educating us, man. We on live with homie Akbar Prays, man, and his story, man, is definitely, man, it's life-changing because I've never heard of that before, lifestyle.
Well, to the young brothers out there that might happen to hear this, they don't need physical evidence, and people misunderstand the conspiracy law. What the conspiracy says is that 2 or more people decide to enter into a criminal enterprise, but you don't need physical evidence to establish that, because the person that you could co-conspire with, whatever they say becomes evidence. It's just like it's like they almost got a smoking gun. So a person could say anything. Me and you could have this conversation. I could hang up off the phone and say, listen, me and Hanif agreed to import 200 keys. Then the burden is on you basically to disprove it. Because I'm your co-conspirator, my statement is considered evidence. That's why it's such a difficult charge to beat.
All right, cool. That was the third segment from the Akbar Prays interview that pre-recorded earlier. Definitely, like I said, he's dropping some deep knowledge, man, for those people that are, involved, especially in the music industry, and involved with that lifestyle of, promoting drugs and narcotics or whatever, you're doing with your music, especially if you're in the urban music today. The radio singles and stuff like that, I mean, they're all promoting basically, using negative type of stereotypical drugs, sex, money, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely put out there for our kids to affect the younger individuals, but at the same time, there's some grown-ass men, you know what I'm saying, and grown-ass women that are affected by it as well, you know what I'm saying, which helps cloud the judgment who they may have kids, you know what I'm saying, and if they're, 35, 30 years old, 40 years old, and doing the same thing that the radio tells them to do, then what do you think their kids are doing,
We've actually talked about this before, and I agree that, celebrities or any type of entertainer does have some degree of responsibility for putting certain type of images out there. Thing is, though, half these people that's actually telling you this don't do none of the above in the first place, one. So you got to use your own damn head when you listen to people and what decisions you make based on what you've heard. We too sheepish. I keep saying that a million times over on this show. We are too sheepish because we never give credit to none of the scholars when your kid go and graduate from high school. Nobody said, well, you know what? I'd like to thank God and Martin Luther King for me be able to graduate from high school. Nobody says that shit. So quit blaming everybody that actually does something wrong for the reason why your kids is doing some shit they ain't got no business. Why, if you chose to get in the game, you chose to get in the game. Bottom line. Based on what you know.
But you know what, V? We live in a world where it's like super impressionable. Like it seems like, but you know how it is, V. Like, the dope dealers and the people that live a fast life is the ones that people are attracted to the most. No matter how many times people are going to tell you, you know what, get in your own lane, do your own thing. It's not going to happen, man. I mean, you get way too many people, and you're right. And you know what, V, I agree, because you know what, it's too damn bad that there's so many people that's trained like that. But, you do have so many young children and people that don't know no better. There's so many people that don't know. But it's a lot of...
They don't want to know no better. That's the problem. That's why I don't like it, and that's why I don't like people to keep saying it. Because we have a predetermined excuse. Well, if it wasn't for him doing it, then I wouldn't have done it. Bullshit. You wanted to do that.
Right. You're right.
Everybody in the game know the risk of the game. Everybody in the game know the risk of the game. That is not oblivious to you at all. At all. Every dude that ever hustles know a dude that's locked the fuck up for the rest of his life for it. He know a dude is dead for it. He knows the dude is strung out from doing that. You ain't, man, you lying to yourself if you believe that. Yeah. Ain't nobody in the game oblivious to that. And that's what I'm saying. And if we use these damn excuses all the time about why we keep doing something, because they want to be the next LeBron James or the next Akbar Prays, whoever it is you're trying to emulate. Man, try to do better than them. Try to outdo them. I don't want nobody to say he was almost like so-and-so. I want to be that so-and-so. That's our problem, man. We are predetermined to fail and to lose. We don't want to win. We don't want to be something bigger and better than anybody ever imagined. We need to get that out of our mindset. We keep putting a predetermined excuse for everything we do. Well, if it wasn't for the white man to do this, black man could do that. Yes, that's true to some degree, but you got to get off your ass at some point. You got to use that thing that you got in between your ears at some point. Everybody that did that are the ones we're trying to emulate. Preach.
Yep.
Everybody that did that. Everybody that actually, for every Tupac you've seen, he put his mind to use and put his feet on the pavement. That's what you got to do to succeed in life. Period. Let's use that as an excuse. Well, when you ain't getting what you want out of life, say, damn, well, I guess if you get off your ass, maybe it'll happen for you.
Yeah,
that's word right there. Yeah, I feel what you're saying, man. You do. You got to get up off your ass and do something. You got to take the horse by the reins, man, and just fucking take over the game, man. You know, if you want to do something, all you got to do is put your mind to it.
No, it's like V said. You gotta do it. You gotta do it your way. You don't have to do it anybody else's way. Don't do it V's way. Don't do it Vito's way. Don't do it Nscinse's way. Do it your own way. But you know, we live in a world, and you know what? Like V said, like you know, we live in a predetermined world where it's just kind of laid out there. Okay, you know what? I want to be like this guy, that girl, this guy, that girl. You know, and that's the sad state that we live in right now. Like this is a perfect example about just exactly how it is. But you know, not to get on that too heavy, but about Akbar Prays, like you know, to me it's kind of like you know, it's this society that we live in where you have too many people. You know, we live with this whole judicial system where to me I think it's fucking backwards anyways. You know what I'm saying? There's so many flaws in that, and you know what, V? There's predetermined laws. You know what I mean? And there's laws that people make up too. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, that's all there. I think the laws are, you know, some of them are prejudicial because that one out that he got convicted on, that's wow. But it's not that shocking to me because when they can't catch it, the thing is, smart people to get on that level understand the law. They understand how they get caught, what they can and cannot do. So that's those type of laws are to catch those that go, this dude is realizing that I can't wiretap him because he does nothing over the phone. How am I going to catch him? He never puts his hand on it. How am I going to catch him? Those are the people that actually get to that level, and they are the reasons why those type of laws exist, because they have laws. When you live in, when you're in the game, there is no laws. There is no laws. You get to do what you feel like you want to do. If you feel like the competition is taking too much of your money, you can murk the whole squad. Now, you got to deal with the consequences with that, but you can do that.
Yeah.
It's not against the laws of the game. You can do that. They have laws. They have rules that they got to go by. So the smart ones figure out, well, how much time will they give me for this? How much time I'm going to do for that? Well, I'm never going to get caught with this. I'm never going to do that. You can't be caught at this point until they make some laws to say, well, you know what, we can't catch you on. That's the reason why a lot of drug dealers, there's bosses that never get caught, go to jail for tax evasion. Man, how the hell did you have 10 houses, dude? But he had legitimate businesses. So they couldn't catch him on nothing. Of course they knew they wasn't going to never have him in a car with 2 keys. They would have never caught him like that. He could have been able to do his thing forever. So that's the reason why those laws are done like that, and it's prejudice to some degree.